On this episode, I want to explain how sometimes you're the bottleneck and you have to eat all the mistakes even when they're not your fault. So over the last couple of years, one thing I've really learned is I start to eat all the mistakes, even though they're not my fault. Sometimes they are, majority of the times they are our fault. But what I want to explain to you how important it is to start to change your perspective and look and think the mistakes that are happening through your company are actually due to you. So we have problems with guys showing up late, not coming to work at all, going to the wrong jobs, taking the wrong equipment, materials. There's many problems that face every day in our industry. I'm not sure about every other industry, but I feel like with us, there's always problems and things don't always run super smooth. I've really improved that in my industry by taking all that responsibility and saying it's my fault that they're not performing how they should, and it grew our business in a huge amount. So one example I want to say is sometimes the guys take the wrong equipment or forget something at the shop. And we would do that all the time. We would drive all the way to the job and the guys will say, oh, we forgot our zip level or we forgot a tool. So what I did was rather than blaming them and saying, that's your fault, how'd you forget that? I pretended it was my fault and I ate the mistake. So now what I do is every job we have systems or processes to make sure that doesn't happen. So for example, if the guys are doing a concrete subbase around a pool, I ensure every day that they have the concrete tools and everything they're gonna need to do that job. We pull it in the morning and leave it out front or put it in the truck so it's not forgotten. Doing things like that prevents the problems. The other things were sometimes the guys take a 30-minute break in the morning to go get coffee. So one thing I did was, because it was getting me super frustrated, was I had all the coffees and everything they need for breakfast at the shop. So in the morning, the guys could leave and go right to their job. Having the guys come in at 6 in the morning to get all the trucks ready to solve that problem, because I take that mistake and I ate it and I said it was my fault that these things are happening. Tony Robbins always says, you get what you tolerate. So if the guys are late and after the first one, mention it to them, very nice and polite, like, hey, just making sure everything was okay. I noticed that you were 10 minutes late today. Don't yell at them or discipline them. Just ask them a simple question. If you let it slide for multiple times, again, the reason they're gonna be late is because you tolerated it the first time. So what I want you guys to do is start to realize things that are going on in your company that doesn't make you happy or is harder for you to succeed or take yourself to the next level, and say they're my mistakes and the reason they're doing that is because I'm not setting them up for success. We're the bottleneck. So doing things like this is going to improve your business tenfold and push you to the next level. So another example I would love to give is sometimes jobs take longer than planned. The reason the jobs take longer aren't because the guys aren't working hard or due to problems. It's because the owner or the person in charge messed up and didn't give them the information, the tools, or the roadmap to succeed. So now what I do is before each job, I tell how long it's gonna be, what they need to get done at a certain time, and throw down a challenge. I learned at Dale Carnegie, one thing to really empower people is to throw down a challenge, and if they succeed, reward them. So just take everything that's holding you back. Every time people blame other people for the problems, oh, I can't deal with these guys, I can't do this, I can't do that. I was one of those people, and all I did was I said those problems were my mistakes, and the reason they're doing that is because I'm not giving those tools. So another quick example would be these difficult pool jobs that we were doing. They were never running super smooth. So I said, these are my problems. The reason we're not succeeding in them is because of me. And I found out that only a couple of guys could execute on those jobs properly. So I moved the other crews to jobs that they do well. So now I can control each job and have the right people at the right job and having them perform at their highest level. And that makes us all succeed because I'm putting the right person in the right seat to control the company. And the same thing I'm doing with this end of our company. I have my good guy, Evo, who's absolutely killing it behind the camera, doing the edits and putting the whole team together. And I'm teaching him how to step out of the business to work on the business business to grow. And we're doing it so fast, and he's learning so much in front of my eyes. And what I keep noticing with him is he apologizes for things because he's taking blame and ownership for not having things where it should be. And big shout outs to him. And guys, similar stuff you guys can learn from. Like, comment, subscribe. We're doing more videos like this, and I want to be a part of growing your guys' business. Thanks again.